Hey guys, I'm Sheree Smith. Welcome to SnapComms, where we bring you news in a snap. The Deputy Governor's Office is inviting comments on a draft code of conduct for political parties and candidates in preparation for the next general election. The Cabinet of the Virgin Islands recently noted and approved the recommendations for the 2015 General Elections Report, including a code of conduct for political parties and candidates during an election process. Joining me on today's program to discuss the draft code of conduct is Acting Permanent Secretary in the Deputy Governor's Office, Mrs. Carolyn Stoutt Igwe. Mrs. Igwe, thank you for joining me on today's program.
Thank you for having me.
This is such a pertinent topic as we approach a next election season. I want you to tell us what was the objective behind implementing a code of conduct for political parties and candidates?
Well, I believe it probably stemmed from the manner in which campaign was done, especially during the last election. There were some concerns expressed. So basically, we're trying to make sure that we have some standards in place to make sure that persons conduct themselves in a certain manner, to respect the rights of others and to respect the opinions of others, and just to make sure that things are done decently and in order.
Okay, so for those listeners who haven't gotten an opportunity to review the code, let's dive into the contents of the code. What types of policies are outlined in this code?
Okay, well, first of all, we start out by describing the purpose of the code, and then there's some general principles, basically outlining the need to have free and fair elections. And we want to also included in that, there's a section, the final section actually deals with the role of the media. We respect the fact that we need to respect the fact that the media has a role before, during, and after. And one of the things I should have said that the code actually talks about the entire elections process, basically from time we start campaigning all the way until the election results are announced. And also we have included information there, some of the policies or some of the areas that are included. We want to ensure that persons understand that you should not be promoting violence, any abusive language during that time. You need to respect other candidates. There's no need to basically be promoting false information that you know really is not true. So those are some of the things that we're actually addressing and also to avoid defaming persons' character, because I think what persons have said that in the past, we've been basically going down a road that we should not be going down. We need to respect everyone. Everybody has a right to run as long as they're a registered voter. So whether or not you agree with a person's position, you should at least respect the person.
Okay, and respect seems to be the underlying topic right here. So tell us, the Deputy Governor's Office has made an appeal officially via a press release, and we're here now to talk more about the code of conduct, the draft code of conduct. What type of information are you expecting from the community?
Well, what we're expecting from persons as they read the code to tell us, do you agree with some of the provisions? And if you don't agree, it's all right to tell us as well. Maybe there's some areas that we need to make some minor adjustments to, or maybe there might be some that you don't think should be in there, as well as there might be some areas that you think we need to make sure that we include in the draft code. So we are expecting positive, whatever type of feedback we can get, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure, especially for the candidates, the political parties, that they're comfortable with the language that is there, and as well as persons who may not be political party candidates. They might not be political candidates, but they might be members of political parties. So we expect that not only the candidates will conduct themselves in a certain manner, but also members of political parties. We expect that they will adhere to the same standards. So we are expecting feedback. We have already received feedback. I've paid attention to some of the comments that have been on the blogs, on the press release. I've been paying attention to them, and everything will be taken into consideration, as well as we will hear also from the current members. If they have comments, whatever comments they have, we are willing to just receive everything. One of the reasons why we're doing this is because of the fact that there's time sensitivity because of the fact that elections are constitutionally due by next year. So we are basically trying to do our stakeholder consultation ahead of the draft coming back to the House of Assembly for final approval.
And as we touch on based on timeline, when is the comments due, or when are comments due?
Okay, we would like to have persons comment by the 12th of November, because once the comments are submitted to us, we will then review all the comments and incorporate as much as we can into the final draft, and that draft will then be sent on to the Attorney General's chambers. The aim is to have the draft become one of the schedules to the Elections Act. We are expecting that we will have a consolidated Elections Act going into the next general elections. So we are hoping that this code of conduct will become part of the actual act.
Okay, thank you for that information. Where is the comments going? So you shared with us a wealth of information. As we wrap up this program today, can you just sum it all up, why it is important that persons give their feedback?
Okay, we are seeking to improve on our general elections. We, as you would be aware, we recently obtained cabinet's approval to utilize the DS precinct scanner and tabulator. So we are seeking to improve the manner in which we do general elections. So while we're looking at it in terms of the counting of the votes and tabulating of the votes, we're also looking at it in terms of the campaign. We want to make sure that we have a clean a campaign as possible. So that's why we have the standards that we're trying to put in place to make sure that everybody is clear that these are the standards by which you should be governed as you go out and you start campaigning. So we're encouraging persons to give us your feedback, submit your feedback. If you don't think it should go, we've heard comments already. People said, oh, they've seen some things that they really support. Some persons have said, you might have a problem enforcing this aspect, but whatever complaints people have, we are willing to receive them so that we can get the document finalized.
Thank you, Mrs. Igwe.
Thank you for having me.
Persons have until Monday, November 12th to provide feedback on the draft code. Comments can be sent via email to ahill@gov.vg or be dropped off at the Deputy Governor's office in Roe Town. That's it for today, guys. I'm Sheree Smith signing off. Be sure to tune in to your daily feed of SnapComms, where we bring you news in a snap.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Twitter, and Facebook at BVI Government and Instagram at GIS-BVI.
SnapComms is brought to you by the Disaster Recovery Coordinating Committee, Government of the Virgin Islands.